like to start with saying that there are a lot of our little ones who are possessed, highly possessed, while some were planted in your womb right after you miscarried your real baby without knowing. That is why in some of my past videos, I emphasized a lot on pregnant ladies avoiding the nightclubs, cemeteries, or even burial ceremony. As a pregnant lady, let's say you go to work in a public transport or you trek, and in that process, you establish a lot of body contacts with people who might not even true carriers of flesh. That's enough risk to take daily. Another way of birthing a demon-possessed child is if by any chance your parents or a parent or grandparents served a God that isn't Almighty, we know. In the process of carrying out rituals and being loyal to their gods, a pledge must have been made on whom they will pass over whatever they have been doing once they are no more. That circle must continue. Sometimes it might even skip a generation and land on your children. An elderly I once conversed with told me anytime she was around her children, she had 3 children. The oldest and her would be in the same room, but the energy she would get from her child could be compared to the energy of a native doctor and a total stranger. She would often have dreams where he would be in front of a giant deity, but his ears would be sealed with wood and his eyes focused on that huge, scary deity. And each time she tried calling him to get his attention, it would look as though he was fully hypnotized. This dream would keep repeating year after year until she decided to take it to the next level and deliver her son. Most men and women do not come clean on the family religious roots, and some of our parents abandoned the fetish practices they were in, claiming they had accepted Jesus Christ, not knowing that altar they once served is still living. This is an extension of cold revenge. My baby got to 3 years and I had to enroll her in the nursery school. My best friend, who was still the leader where we really existed in the other realm, paid for everything. And even while growing up, the love she showed my girl made me extremely jealous. How could one love someone's child as her own? My girl had an imaginary friend who was assigned to her from the moment she was born. Deep down, I didn't want my child to experience this dark life I got myself into in the name of revenge. We would attend the meetings and my baby would be considered or seen as my best friend's child or offspring. My daughter had the brain of an old woman and she would only speak when necessary. The school my daughter attended was owned by our member, and although some children were possessed, in the school the number of not possessed children were more. And in just 2 years of being in that school, my girl had converted so many children, and those children would also extend the initiation to the children they met at home or in the neighborhood. As a single mom, I found no need getting married anymore since the first one ended in deceit. I was already making money and even my daughter's account was continuously funded by her godmother, my best friend. In this place I belonged. If one had a pure blood and the time for them to take over the mantle, they would have to end the life of their parents who established the connection for them. Now, that explains why I never got to meet my best friend's parents. I knew I was going to die, but I didn't know it would be so soon. Day by day, I got used to the rules and commands. That was enough to make me decamp, but I didn't because the penalty was death. Death on both sides. I would also notice some of my friends not attend the regular gathering, and in few days their death would be announced on the earth, and we would be in a traditional attire to finish up with whatsoever rites left before they go to join the people whom we would get orders from, the place of the beyond, where the faithful servants go to after they have finished with whatever service they had on earth and in this our realm. The time of the new election was fast approaching, and we were expected to look into the black pond in which the name of our next leader will be displayed. Yes, I had a daughter whom I gave birth to, but deep down, I knew she would be my end and maybe my karma. My girl had no emotional attachment to me, and I first noticed this during the breastfeeding stage, but I was quick to wave it off as the little percentage of kids who disliked breast milk. Each time we fell sick in this room, maybe due to an attack from a believer or while carrying out an operation, that would be the only time she would assign one of our doctors to me. Now, the same way we, the earth dwellers, have our doctors and lawyers to help with curing and also defending us on this planet Earth. That is the same way we had entities of great higher powers equipped with such roles over there. Allow me to digress a bit. In the case of the lawyers of the underworld, for example, if thereby you patronize a sex worker and you deceive her or not pay her after the business is done, if she doesn't give you a test of your own medicine, maybe by exchanging blows or creating a scene, she might decide to table your own case in whichever place she belongs. And in most cases, it might be fatal. According to a great leader, a great man of God, he said, your spirit will be caged and your family will bury you. And when you are done with the sentence in the other realm, you will be released. But by the time you come back, your body will not be there, thereby leaving you a wanderer. Now back to my story. The big entity in charge of treating us would attend to me and I will be fully healed. The day of the black pond was fast approaching, and I grew nervous by the day. And this was because it was so evident my daughter would be elected. But if another person would be elected, my life would be spared, and I will have to live my life free without worries. Weeks leading to the black pond day, I worked so hard and the blood banks were filled. A lot of sacrifices I did so that even if I joined the wise beyond, I would be awarded greatly than being enslaved like the people who didn't live up to the expectations, so we were taught in this realm.